Our next conversation is going to be about marketing and understanding how technology can work for marketing. Siti, P-I-C-K. Pronounce?
Pick.
P-E-A-K.
Peak.
Very good.
You got it right.
Ilikuwa mwalimu wa Kiingereza baba.
Sema tena.
Pick and peak. All right, Eric, I am aware and I do understand the conundrum you find yourself in. So, Eric said pick. The other one, pick. Okay, now, they're two different. Yes, the first one I said pick, and the second one I said pick. Didn't you hear the difference? It's very different. Pick and peak.
Okay. Pick and peak.
Yes.
Sawa.
Yes.
Sawa. Peak. So there's a marketing company called Peak and Dale Solutions Limited, and the CEO is Brendah Mwirichia. She's our guest for the next hour. Brendah, good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Good. Glad to be here.
You pronounce the peak.
It's Peak and Dale. He got it right.
Sawa. Welcome to the hot seat of the Situation Room.
Thank you.
Karibu sana. Siti, welcome. How are the day's proverb?
Yes, our proverbs for the whole of this week have been from the Republic of Zambia, and today is our final day. Now, the final proverb for the week: don't start a fight just because your companion is strong.
Don't start a fight just because you ordered the just. Huh?
Don't start a fight just because your companion is strong.
Oh, before you didn't put the just.
You didn't hear properly.
That's why I put the comma. You didn't put the just.
Come.
Okay. Okay. Brendah, what's your interpretation of this proverb?
I mean, you like it says, don't just pick a fight because you're feeling like I have backup. I have, I'm okay. And especially in politics, I think a lot of people do that. So, yeah.
Thinking at you, these ones will come to my aid. Big guy will just look at you.
Might not be their fight to fight.
Or they've been looking for an opportunity to have you get bit. So they're like, Nyoroshwa hata umekuwa tabia mbaya. Nyoroshwa. Okay. All right. So tell us about this marketing company, Peak and Dale Solutions.
Right. So Peak and Dale has been in existence for 15 years. We call ourselves an integrated tech marketing communications agency, abbreviated as ITMC, and we actually coined that term. I think we're one of the few agencies that has been able to marry tech with marketing. So we are an ITMC, been in the industry for 15 years, work with several brands across the board, work with a lot of SMEs, and we have been able to craft different agencies that deal with different things. So we have the tech arm of the business, which runs under 7-8. Then we have the agencies that actually handle the marketing and communications bit. And so we're able to marry all that together and be able to deliver fantastic results that would otherwise not have been delivered, barring everything separately.
So 3 solutions, 3 companies sort of working as one.
Yes.
Before we go to the tech,
first
take us through what is the marketing and communication.
Right. So marketing and communications is bringing your business value and trying to source a market for it. So there are very many things when it comes to marketing. For me, 2 things are key. One is understanding your customer. So if you understand your customer, then you're able to give them an experience that is worthwhile. And 2 is brand, building your brand equity. So, for instance, the reason Kenchik is able to start Kenbeef is because people already trust Kenchik. They know Kenchik, they trust it. And that's part of brand building. How do you build your brand equity so that people are able to trust you, to love you, and to pick your product from the shelf? So for me, those 2 things in summary.
Just one and the same thing then. Marketing and communication.
Um,
Can you have marketing without communication?
You can. Okay, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult. Marketing encompasses communications, but communications does not necessarily encompass marketing. So communications is how do I actually tell my story? How do I tell my brand story in a way that people are able to understand and relate to it?
Okay.
Right.
So where does tech come in?
Yes, that's a good question. So, past 15 years, I'll tell you about when we started. Tech in 2009 was not such a big deal, right? In fact, it was something that was way out there. It was something that people were not really relating with, just like AI is now, right? And so we've come a long way, and I'm really glad to see how we can be able to integrate tech with marketing. I remember those days I would tell people, let's have a video conference, and they look at me and tell me, what are you talking about? Now, I mean, everything is on Zoom. Everyone understands Zoom, Google Meet, Teams. People are communicating through that. People are watching this live, so there's a lot of tech that is happening there. So how tech integrates with marketing is that we're able to allow customers to use these tools of technology and be able to benefit from them. One of the biggest tools that we have now is social media, right? Everyone is using social media. And in fact, for any business listening, if you're not on social media, and I think this has been emphasized quite a bit, if you're not on social media, you're missing out on a very large percentage of otherwise would-be customers, right? So social media is powerful. In the past, you would have to probably meet up, with your boys in the bar, have some banter, meet up with your girls, and then you talk about, where did you buy this? Where did you get this? But now I can put it on social media, right? So I'm able to communicate to a much larger audience and to a targeted audience. And that's the power of that kind of marketing, digital marketing. I'm able to communicate to a targeted audience. I want to speak to people only in Kenya. I can speak to people only in Kenya. And it gets better. I want to speak to people only in Mombasa Road. I can speak to people only in Mombasa Road, So I'm able to target my audience and be able to give them a message that is effective just for them.
How does that impact business? Because marketing is not marketing on its own. It's targeted towards, getting somebody to make a decision about purchasing something, taking on a service, taking on a good. So how has this innovation that we've seen over the last, maybe decade, how has that impacted business? Whereby are we seeing that people are purchasing and consuming more as a result of this targeting that you're talking about?
Yes.
What's the impact look like?
So it has. A lot of businesses, and in fact, it's very interesting too, because a lot of businesses are actually only on social media, which is something I don't advocate for. You need to be able to build your equity beyond social media. But there are businesses that we've seen that are operating entirely on social media. You sell on social media, so there's been that kind of impact. But I think the best thing is that it is measurable. I'm able to see exactly who I'm targeting and whether my money is actually giving me a return on investment. So it is measurable, and I think that's the power of this kind of technology. I can be able to target, I can be able to see what was my effective reach, what was my return on investment, and so on and so forth. Right.
But that would have to be from what you decided you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because there's somebody who may be wanting to push sales volumes, then you go ahead and have this targeted campaign, you've put in money into it, but it gives you reach. It doesn't give you, it doesn't translate to sales immediately. And someone starts saying, this thing doesn't work. I put 20,000 shillings into this thing, nobody called.
Yeah.
Well, I put 20,000, my stock is still the same.
No new customers.
No new customers.
Yeah.
So how do you then guide somebody into the best way to achieve the best result or your best objective?
So I like that. I feel like you're a marketer, Latif. So when you're going out to market, there are different objectives that you would want to have. And like you've said rightly, one of them would actually be reach. I just want to reach a certain targeted audience. So an objective can actually be reach. Another objective could actually be conversion. Conversion means I want to be able to get people to call me and make a sale, or engagement. Engagement is where I want people to just talk to me and get to know me a bit better. So I want messages. I want people to interact with my videos, right? So depending on the objective, then you're able to craft your campaign around the kind of objective that you have, and that's where the agency comes in, because now we're able to guide you and help you understand what kind of objective do you want to achieve. How will you be able to achieve it? What is the best way? What are the best platforms? What else can we put out there so that you're able to achieve that objective better? All right.
I've always been confused about marketing and sales. Because at some level, they seem to me like they're the same thing.
Yeah.
Because when you say you're marketing and then you're selling, how do you tell the difference?
Yeah. So remember, I mentioned that marketing involves quite a number of things, and one of them is brand building, right? So sales is the actual sale, which we all know. And a lot of people, rightly, like you've put it, when they talk about marketing, they say, I want sales. But marketing can be able to give you so much more, right? And that's why it's important to understand, what objective do I want with my marketing? Do I want to create top of mind awareness, where I just want people to know about my brand and not necessarily purchase at this point in time, but just know and interact with my brand? Or do I want to engage with my consumers? Do I want to educate them and tell them, look, we have this service, this is how it works, this is the opportunities that it can give you, So there are very many facets to marketing, but sales is, have we made that purchase at the end of the day? Right? So marketing is a process that will help lead you to that particular sales. But you can be able to have so many other objectives around it, and not just sales. Sales could be one of the objectives, but you can be able to have other objectives around that.
Do I hear you to be saying that when someone is in the business that you are in, you are able to look at a business entity and determine that they are perhaps not optimizing on whatever capabilities they have, and so you go about pinpointing and establishing the means by which this particular business can A, be better known, B, better put out these benefits that they offer into the market, and the end result is they are better able to realize perhaps what they were looking for all along, money.
Yes, and one of the very first things that we do is we craft a strategy for you. So we analyze your business, and one of the things we like saying is that we look at your needs and we actually validate those needs, because sometimes you could be saying, I have this kind of problem, and that's not really your problem. Your problem is something else. And so we're able to come into your business and look at it from a holistic angle and craft a strategy for you that you will then use to be able to effectively market, right? So we'll give you your objectives. We'll tell you who your target audience should be. We'll tell you how do you communicate to that target audience. We'll even give you your tone of voice. What kind of tone of voice should you be able to use? Should you shout? Should you use Swanglish? I hear nowadays it's called Swanglish, a mixture of Swahili and English. Do you speak Sheng? How do you reach that customer in a language that they can understand? And so we're able to put all this together holistically and craft a strategy for you that then you will be able to use in your market.
So then how do you measure success? I mean, okay, here you've done all these things, you've strategized, you've gone through the processes. Now you, as a marketing and communication organization, how do you measure
the success? Wonderful. So this is where now the integration of with tech comes in. So we are able to put tools together, that then help measure results. Okay, and for us that's a big thing. We're able to get your analytics and measure your results and show you that this is what you've been able to achieve. So we actually call it performance marketing because it's data-driven marketing. So we're getting data and we're able to interpret that data and tell you a story based on what that data is telling us. And now you're able to actually craft and see, okay, am I going in the direction that I wanted to go, or do I need to tweak my advertising, to tweak my spend so that I can be able to make the kind of wins that I wanted to make in the first place.
Since you're a business, you also need to make money.
Yes.
Is the money you make attached to the success factor, or do you make money any which way? Whether you succeed, that is your problem.
So it's very hard not to succeed because this is something that we've been doing for so many years, right? And we've gotten good at our craft, that so much so that now we can be able to look at certain things and quickly tell you this is it. But like I said again, the first place to start is with the analysis and the strategy. And if we start at that point, then you're likely to succeed. The success rates are very high. And I'll give you some success stories that we've been able to have over the past couple of years. But if you start from an analysis perspective and you're able to craft a strategy that you know that this is where we're heading to, then you will definitely succeed because you're working based on that strategy.
My last question before the break.
Yeah.
Given what you've told me, I get the impression that this trade that you ply would work very well for politicians.
Oh, I don't know. It's possible. A lot of,
because you're talking strategy, you're talking image, you're talking putting your best foot forward.
Yeah. But have you seen nowadays politics is actually run on social media? There's a lot of digital that is done on politics.
It is true.
Yeah.
It is true.
Yeah.
It is true. But you see, strategy involves immediate, medium term, long term.
Exactly.
But social media is instant.
Yes.
So that's a big difference.
Yeah.
And most politicians seem to understand the need to be re-elected in the last year, just before the election. That's when it's like hits them and there's this frenzy.
Yeah.
So seriously speaking, if I look at the trade that you are in, that trade seems to have been tailor-made for politics.
I wouldn't say it's tailor-made for politics alone, but there are a lot of politicians who actually run their campaigns on digital, and it works.
Our conversation with Brendah Mwirichia from Peak and Dale Solutions Limited continues, integrating technology with marketing. So Brendah, apart from social media, how else do you use technology for marketing?
Yeah. So one of the ways we try to integrate technology in everything that we do. So right from analyzing your customer and getting data and analytics for that customer so that we can be able to give personalized marketing, right? So for instance, if you're a man, you have no business seeing an ad for a salon. Maybe you're married and you want to take your wife, but really it's not your core, you know? So
unless you work there.
No, you just hold it. Repeat that again.
You're a man. Why do you want to see an ad for a salon that is targeted to ladies? So one of the things that we aim to do is to give personalized ads, so to speak, right? Personalized marketing, because now you've all heard of cookies. You know those things that nowadays in websites you're told, do you want to allow cookies or reject? And by there's actually an option where you can reject the cookies. A lot of Kenyans don't know that, so they keep allowing the cookies. But you might be allowing cookies that, will not be beneficial for you in any way. Yeah. So if you feel you can even select the type of cookies that you want to allow, right? Maybe just performance cookies.
You want to go that direction?
Okay. Keep going.
All right,
Keep going.
So what are cookies?
Yes. And what is the selection of cookies that are available? Yes. And what are the ingredients?
Do we start eating? So basically, the idea is to give you personalized ads, right? So if you're a man and you're seeing a barber shop, then it makes sense, right? So we want to help you get ads that are relevant to you, because ads are here to stay. They're here with us. So we want to help you get the ads that you want to see, really, and not things that you will feel are a nuisance to you. So one of the ways that we do that is definitely through leveraging technology. One of the other ways, and this is something that is really big at the moment, is e-commerce. So a lot of people want to sell online, and e-commerce is basically being able to sell your goods or your services through an online platform. We are currently the e-commerce agency of the year 2023, a title that we hope to retain this year, and if we do, then we'll have been e-commerce agency of the year 3 years in a row.
Awarded by?
The e-commerce institute, I think something that we've seen with SMEs is the fact that you can be able to sell online and do your integrations directly on your website. So one of the things that we're able to do is to allow for payment integrations, to allow for integrations with your other systems, so it becomes a holistic system and you're able to sell your goods directly from that particular platform.
For example?
So payment integration.
All those things you said, integrating solutions.
Yes. So
okay.
I want to sell through M-Pesa, for instance.
Right.
We build for you an e-commerce platform. We give you put for you your products there. Then we integrate.
Is an e-commerce platform a website?
It is a website.
Okay.
It's a type of
like
website.
a mini site.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
So you
yes.
build a website, and
So
then
we build the website, give it e-commerce capabilities, and then we integrate it with your M-Pesa, so either your pay bill or your till number, and you're able to get. So when you're shopping, you're able to get your STK push directly on your phone. You put your payment, and you can be able to pay and check out directly. This is also, if anyone goes to our website pickanddeal.com right now, you can be able to go online, purchase a domain. A domain is your online identity, right? So ndu.com, latif.com. So you're able to go make the purchase and have your domain up and running in the next few seconds without talking to any human being. So that's the power of technology, right?
how does this so just speaking about e-commerce, right? So you've created for me an e-commerce platform, and I sell various goods. Say I've just moved from my Mama Eric's general store and put it online. Anauza sukari, chumbi, kibiriti, and all those things.
Yeah.
And there are people who would like to buy.
Yeah.
And then there are those who would like home deliveries. So now create this solution and show me how somebody can come, purchase, add to cart, check out, and all those things. And what's happening, how do I see what's happening as the business owner?
Yes. Okay. So you'll have visibility, right, from the back end, and sometimes you can get technical and so I want to try.
So as Mama Eric,
Yes.
Mama Eric can see what's happening.
They can be able to see exactly.
It's like you're in the
what's-
restaurant and there's an open
You're able.
window.
Actually,
you can see them cooking in the
it's
kitchen.
the same as your shop,
Right.
Yeah.
only that now it's online.
And you're not seeing the human being.
You're not seeing the human being, so you're interacting with this particular platform, and your customer comes.
Okay.
They're able to add to cart, like you said.
Okay.
They're able to check out, make the payment directly from the website, and not only M-Pesa. There are so many other platforms, Visa and
Yep.
so on and so forth. Make the payment directly from the website, and then their goods will be delivered depending on what you want. So there'll be logistics happening, and your goods will actually be delivered to your home.
Okay.
So I'm seated here as a customer, and that's convenience. I'm seated here as a customer. I needed XYZ. I can be able to make my order and get it in the comfort of my home.
Brendah, Mama Eric is your customer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eric City is shopping on this platform. What is Mama Eric seeing?
So
as CT goes to mamaericshop.com or .co.ke and he's picking kibrit, sukari, chumbi, maftata, whatever, what is Mama Eric? See, how does Mama Eric know that I have CT in my shop?
Yeah.
And he's ordered X items in X quantities, and he has paid, and he wants me to deliver it to his home.
So Mama Eric doesn't even have stress. The only thing they're waiting to see at the back end is their orders coming in. So they see money coming in their wallet, and they see the orders that have come in.
Okay.
So all they need to do from their end is process that order and ensure that it has actually been delivered. So they're not seeing what is happening on the site per se and who is...
not seeing him moving, open page, close page. Okay.
No, they're not seeing that. It's a very stress-free experience. So you're actually just waiting for that order to come in, and then all you do is process that order to your customer.
How can Mama Eric reach more people like CT and attract more people to this platform?
I love that question. So now this is where marketing comes in. So you've built a very nice e-commerce platform. But of course, if no one knows about it, then they say it's like winking in the dark, right? So you need to be able to market, right? And that's where now we're able to come and help you market through various avenues. Digital would actually be one of them. So depending on the strategy we craft for you, we tell you the best way to market would be through, for instance, radio, through digital platforms, through TV, through whatever. And we craft for you a strategy that will work for you. And it's also dependent on the type of product you're selling, the type of service that you're selling, right? So digital is usually a first place to start because you're able to measure and see what your return on investment will look like. Yeah.
Okay. Do we see that there's increased uptake of this kind of business by those who are selling and by those who are purchasing?
You say that again?
Do we see that there's an uptake of e-commerce, for example?
Yeah.
Or are people still comfortable going to the shop and picking up the thing as opposed to doing it online?
So, that has really increased, especially I think COVID really helped the Kenyan market, right? So a lot of people went online, especially during the COVID period. And what is happening now is when I see my competitor is online, then I also want to make sure that I am online. So there's been a lot of growth within the past couple of years in the online sphere in terms of e-commerce that has really grown in this particular market. There's also been a very large growth in social media. TikTok, we're currently number 1 in the world. Did we know that?
Number 1 what?
Kenya is
Doing
number
what?
1 in what?
In TikTok.
Doing what?
Usage in the world. Yeah.
How do you measure this, number one? In terms of the frequency with which people use it?
Interact, yes.
The number of people who use it?
Yes.
All those
All those.
TikTok and up in the TikTok.
Okay, go on, please.
So mobile penetration has also really increased, and I think that's another area that if you're not marketing for, then you're losing out as well. Everyone is on this device. Everyone is on this gadget. So that means that you need to tailor your communication for mobile. What we're able to do now is provide websites that are actually mobile responsive, right, or device responsive, and you can tailor your message for that particular user. So I could put something that is different for a desktop user and different for a mobile user. But mobile marketing is actually becoming very big in the world at this particular time.
Yeah, because I imagine that there's some people who maybe have never, in the last 5 years, have never stood up from where they are to go to shop or market. But then also looking at the development of infrastructure, that means that everything across the line then has to work, doesn't it?
Yes.
That when you're sitting behind your computer or on your phone and you're making an order online, and just as a form of, selling, where we are saying this technology or this innovation is going to allow worlds of things that we've not been able to imagine, right? But at the same time, there's critical infrastructure that's needed to make sure that you go from point A to point B.
Yeah.
And are we seeing that is developing over time? For example, I make an order here and it just goes seamlessly to the next step. I've made a payment, mobile wallet, whatever.
Yeah.
I can see that's paid. It's gone through. And then I can pick up the next tab for delivery and it actually gets to me. There's no
Yeah.
Are we seeing that because of infrastructure development, we can see the seamless, end-to-end process, and it would encourage more people to say, well, you know what? Actually, I can do that.
Yeah. We're seeing that quite a bit. And even supermarkets, I even encouraging their customers, you shop online, we'll deliver it to your house. You don't need to come to the supermarket, And a lot of even larger businesses that we never thought would do that are actually doing that. But I like what you've talked about in terms of infrastructure. So Kenya has really improved in terms of infrastructure. And I think it's one area that I feel the government has paid attention to, and probably even the private sector, because Wi-Fi now is really, really accessible. I don't know if we are at the affordable bit yet, but Wi-Fi is more or less extremely affordable. Available in Kenya. So what that does is that it helps people, and even data. Right, and we improved. Just a few years ago we were using 2G. Now no one knows Edge.
What's that?
Yeah. So we're all on 4G, 5G, and so what that has done is that it's enabled people to be able to actually go online without even thinking about it. You're not worried about. It's not a question of am I able to get online. It's a question of what am I able to do while online. So yeah, infrastructure has really, really improved.
Brendah, I'm sure you'll attest to when you deal with very many organizations and you find them having some bit of a confusion or a mix between the two functions of marketing and sales, right? And many will have, it's the same, you go and market our products. They mean go and sell our products, right?
Yeah.
So how do you work with organizations, first of all, to create that awareness and the distinction between those two?
Yeah.
So that if they bring you on board for the marketing function, they clearly understand that what you're doing is not a sales function. How do you create that awareness?
Yeah, so one of the things that we do is education, right? Consumer education. And we try to do that through various ways, just to help people understand that there is a difference, right? And marketing is not necessarily selling. And if selling is your end goal, then we can achieve it. But there is a process to achieving that. And how do we achieve that in a most efficient way? So, of course, a lot of consumer education. And then, like I said, we help you also to just craft and understand what is the best direction to go. How do we craft a strategy for you to be able to achieve what you need to achieve.
How have we seen businesses grow? Literally, because folks will say, okay, well, maybe I want to try this. But then, how have you seen businesses grow where somebody was out of their kitchen selling crisps or whatever, and then now, because they used innovation to then get from point A to point B, then you can actually see that there's an increase in their sales, and that there's an increase, or rather more impact can be felt than on brand awareness and brand recognition. How do we see that as a result of this implementation, that businesses have actually grown from where 10 people in your neighborhood were using or buying your product to now thousands?
So I met a lady yesterday who was telling me about her business. She sells food and she sells affordable lunches. And one of the things that she wanted to do was to be able to reach a wider market. So she has a shop, it's a small shop, and she has the capability to provide all this food. And I told her, one of the easiest ways would be to actually go online. During the COVID, just before, we created a product for SMEs. It's called freewebsite.co.ke. And at that time, it actually won an award by Kennick for most innovative product at that particular time. And what we were doing is we were enabling SMEs to build a website at the click of a button and in a very short time. So you're able to come, put your products online, and you're able to start selling as quickly as possible, right? So what this did is that it helped a lot of SMEs who are brick and mortar, to be able to come online and to be able to start selling online. And then they discovered that if I am selling in this new platform, I'm able to reach new customers that I was not able to reach, right? And so that means that my business is able to grow. So now I start thinking about my business differently. What can I be able to do more to reach those people more and to be able to grow my business? I think the ripple effect is really, really big. I'm able to reach more people. I'm able to create more opportunities. There are more lines because there's logistics coming in. There's probably integrations coming in. There's a lot of, it's a whole ecosystem that is being created by just this one thing.
How many P's in marketing?
Pardon?
How many P's?
5 P's.
5, 7. So you're on the 5. Okay. Of the 5, is there any that's important? First of all, which are those 5? And is there any that you say, if you miss this one out, then you're not marketing?
I feel like all are important, but maybe just to say that it's also dependent on what it is that you're selling. Okay. Right? So for instance, price could be a factor depending on what it is that you're selling. So if it's a commodity that is probably not very differentiated, then price would be, you want to give a price that is optimal. However, if you're selling a legal service, for instance, then because of the value that you're offering, price will not be the conversation that you'll start at, right? Your product, you have to get your product right. If your product is not right, then what are you putting out there to sell? If you get the product wrong, I'll buy it once, but they say you fool me once, but you won't be able to get me to purchase it again because the product was not right. So I think it's a question of the type of business, again, boils down to strategy, the type of business, the type of product that you are selling, and what really you want to be able to achieve.
So this is where the strategy now comes in.
Yes,
all right?
Correct.
And what you're saying is it's important as you start thinking about your marketing, come up with a strategy.
Yes.
What are the downsides of that? Because we see many people who just, the strategy is here. My strategy is get more sales, make more money.
Make more money.
See more people, walk my shop, buy my products, pay me money, me make more money.
And there's no strategy
complete.
Yeah, and so what that does is that you'll probably make it for a short time, right? But then you won't make it for the long haul. If you're going in it for the long haul, then you need to be strategic about your marketing. And that's something that we really insist on, that you have to be strategic about your marketing. It'll be hit and miss. So you'll do it because, I want to do it like this. So you'll do it and it'll work maybe, but it's trial and error. You don't really know that this is where I'm going to. You don't even have a goal in the first place. So what are you trying to achieve, right? So it has to be strategic.
Listening to you, I get the impression that, I talked about politicians.
Yeah.
I want to upscale that discussion.
Yeah.
Government could do with a marketing agency.
They could, and Pick and Dale should be the marketing agency that they choose. So actually, one of the
right, pick it and run with it. Okay.
Actually, one of the things that we're doing right now is we're actually marketing Kenya as a destination, and a magical Kenya, and. I like to say that we are the biggest influencer marketing agency at the moment, which is another marketing channel that you can use. And so what we are doing is we are using influencers to be able to actually market Kenya as the tourist destination that you want to visit. So they come, they visit, and they go back and tell a story. And it's a very, very powerful form of marketing.
How so? Give us an example.
So you'll believe me if I'm your friend, right?
Yep.
So people trust the word of people they like or they know,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And what is happening, and we've seen in the past couple of years, is people trust the words of influencers that they actually like or they listen to, right? So if Latif says something and we know Latif, and then we're
He's a truthful man.
Yes, he's a truthful man. So we're definitely likely to believe what he says, right? And so it's very powerful in that sense, because when they come here and they have this authentic experience that they can be able then to go back to their country and tell people, look, this is what I went through, then people want to be able to experience that as well. So influencer marketing has been very integral in our marketing. One of the things that we also do is have influencer marketing for product, and we've had influencers who've helped to grow a product, but then there's also a process and a strategy behind it.
Not everybody.
Selection. Will they interact with your brand? Will they love your brand? Will they be authentic? And so on and so on.
Okay. So the 36 bloggers of Kina Dennis Itumbi. It's marketing for government.
But back to your political question.
You see, the thing is,
Time
is up.
is gone.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.